invoice creation scenario, it's generic. There are a number of different types of invoice formats, whether it be the standard landscape type or the taller types in portrait, which give you more options, more room to move with larger invoices. But I think it's important just to give the start with the landscape type, which is a shorter landscape style invoice. So I'm going to start by talking about the numbers and what they correlate to invoice wise. So the number, if you go into your Google Drive folder, again, the formatting on my Mac is a bit different to PC, but the principles are the same. So if you go into your Google Drive folder and invoices, Google Drive invoices, you will have the templates, which are the originals, which we can refer to if any formatting errors occur. Crow's Nest. Crow's Nest, if I enter into Crow's Nest, all the invoices start with the number 6. Lane Code, invoices start with the number 8. Richmond, invoices start with the number 7. And Wallara, invoices start with the number 9. This is how we segment them and understand the differences between stores and how we identify the invoices. Now I'm just going to use Lane Code today because there's fewer invoices in here. We use it for projects. So if I open up the next available invoice, it's going to come up, it's going to ask me something. It's going to ask me, do I want to enable necros, or do I want to activate content, etc. The answer to that is always yes. The other important thing is to always have the price list open. Now, if you're up to date with your syncing on Google Drive, then under price list folder, there will be this file, ACS Stock and Price List Mat 2014 or 2014 Mat. I've already got it open, but you need to open that every morning and have it open for the course of the day, and then close it at the end of the day, and then reopen it next time you come in. That will keep your stock updated as I'm updating it. If you want to update it through the day for any particular reason, just do so by closing it and reopening it. Every time you reopen it, it will ask the same thing: do you want to activate content? But the most important thing, the imperative thing, is you have that file open whilst you're writing invoices, otherwise the links will not be accurate. Okay, so we're just going to create a simple invoice today, right now, and we'll just call this, first thing you do, you open up the customer comes in, you want to create an invoice for them. What's their name? Mr. Jones, this time around is his name. Company name is, we'll give it a company name. There's not always a company name, but in this scenario we'll do that, Jones & Co. Enter. Shipping address. Very important to get a shipping address. Even when it's pickup, it's important to make some kind of note. In any case, let's say this particular customer wants delivery. This is going to be 110 Smith Street. Now, if you want to get to the next line down, you can Alt Shift and Enter to get to the next line within a cell. And let's say he's in lane curve, just for simplicity. Now, state and postcode, very important. Make sure to put the postcode in and the state, because so many times we miss this, and then it's an extra thing we need to do, but it's imperative in the bookings. So the shipping staff need this, so please make sure that goes in. Next is to put in the tax invoice number. Here it is up here. That's the next. We haven't saved over this yet. So this tells us what the next one is. This is the file we have open. So 804-640, that's the next number available. Salesperson is going to be me, Matthew Poulter. Phone number, telephone, fax. With businesses, sometimes that's important these days, but usually mobile is the most important. So you do that as you wish. 0400230330, just a dummy thing I'm doing. Jones at jonesco.com, okay? .au. Alright, order date is today's date, 12th of the 2nd. Shipment date, let's say this is a quick order and he wants it tomorrow. We do have priority services, I will look at that later. Let's say it's just a toilet suite that we sell regularly, a bowl of 3. What's this linking to? If I reopen or go back to that file, which you should have open, the ACS stock and price list, bowl of 3, I can do a find for that product, bowl of 3, and it'll come up because this stock levels tab is a searchable spreadsheet. Very popular, we sell this one very often. Back to the invoice. So as long as I type in the correct item here and the correct formatting, so I could either copy and paste that from here, or I can just type it in, it will bring up the description and price. We're going to say this customer is buying just 1. So all the information's here, yet this is not adding up. Why? It's because these formulas are essentially in the way of the adding of the formula. So I need to select from here down to the last cell here, not this column. This column, this column, this column. Delete. Now it's added up. One other very important thing to do at this point is to eliminate the formulas in these fields. Why? Because if we have a price update later on, then this is not going to just stay as this current information. It's going to pull on that information in say 6 months time if we have an increase, and then it's going to be incorrect. So if they pay $4.99 and we raise the price by $50, then it's going to show they owe $50. So the next step at this point, or even if you've added more, is to select this area with the formulas, copy them, paste, values. Now there's no formula, it's just the text, and it's just the text, it's just the values. So this won't cause a problem in the future. They're having it delivered to Lane Cove. There's more information on work instructions regarding pricing around delivery. Needless to say, this would be approximately a $45 delivery same day. Okay, so the next step is to understand how we proceed from here. So do we, if they're prepared to pay the money in store, then that's the most appropriate way considering that they are having delivery tomorrow. Let's run through that scenario. Today's date, this is where we enter the payment. 12th of the 2nd, amount $5.44, that's how much they need to pay. Once I enter that in here, this will calculate over here automatically. The method, well, they're going to pay credit card, and we refer to that as EFT. So I want to go up here, I want to put a little X, just punch X, that's how they pay, and EFT down here, and I'm the staff member. So now we have a paid invoice. What do we do now? Well, at the moment, this is still saved as just the next. So it probably be the most appropriate thing to save this under the company name. So we select this, we need to copy this, and we want to save as. So file, save as, and we need to file it, we need to save it as, delete the next, put the invoice number first, save the number after, the company name after. There we are. So now we have this invoice saved under this name. Correct. Okay. So now that that's done, we have a completed invoice due to go tomorrow. We need to give this information to the customer. So it's at this point that we either print to PDF, save as PDF. On mine, I have a save as PDF function, and I have a PDF folder, just like a dummy folder. You can use your desktop, you can use a dummy folder, whatever's most appropriate, but this is a paid invoice ready to go tomorrow. I'm going to go to my email now, to templates. You should have all these templates as a new staff member. You have a product purchase template and product purchase template paid. You need to, in this scenario, you need to use the paid template. You forward that template. So actually, let me just reverse that again. Forward that template. A forward makes a copy. When you forward it, you need to remove this forward information here from the subject and this information here. And then the next part is quite clear. You need to attach the PDF item invoice to the customer. So this is an important summary points document, which is a PDF which gives the customer information about the purchase and their terms and conditions, and then they have a copy of their PDF. They cannot edit this file. That's the important thing. Dear Mr. Jones, I would add here, etc., 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 and I would add my signature, and I would open the PDF in order to retrieve his email, copy it, and paste that into here. The other most imperative thing is to make sure orders at acsbathrooms.com.au is included in this email. If that is not included in this email, nothing will be actioned. Nothing at all. It virtually doesn't exist. Once it goes through to orders, it goes through to management, and management will action it appropriately, and essentially advise of any problems or process the order and action it from there. All right, so that is the next logical step. I'm going to hop out of this, discard it. I'm going to go back to the invoice quickly, and I'm going to pretend that this wasn't paid on the day, and that they actually want delivery in, let's just say, 3 days, 4 days. Okay. Similar scenario, except they haven't paid. Same thing, I'm going to turn it into a PDF, save that PDF into a dummy folder, except now, as I say, it's not paid. I'm just going to replace the existing one, it's not paid. Go back to my templates. Instead of using the paid template, I'm going to use the unpaid template. The difference is this particular template doesn't have all the extra information like the terms and conditions in it. It does have the terms and conditions down here, but it doesn't have that extra document. It's not required just yet. But all the same, you need to attach this. You need to grab the email of the customer, copy, paste it into here. Again, orders must be copied. Dear Mr. Jones, etc. The difference, not too much difference, a bit more on this template, a bit more information about the customer and how soon they need to pay this invoice because it's unpaid, and the methods of payment. Again, go down, add your signature, send it, make sure orders is copied, and there you go. So that's how to create an invoice and attach it in a paid or non-paid scenario.